So in a couple of weeks, how many R2 parts have I received? Well, it's been a few. Stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. Alright, so we got another shipment that came through. This is the second shipment. It comes with issues 3 through 6 right here. We also have some parts that are in cards, some parts that are in bags, and I'm seeing some neat things as I'm going through. And that's it, and a piece of paper. So we'll go ahead and clean that box off the table so we got some room to be able to work. So starting with issue 3, looks like today we're going to be building more of the primary photoreceptor, which I think is actually where the camera is going to be going. Inside, we have more information, innovation, control and filming. So this shows us some of the rigs that they use to be able to film and turn things. Now, one thing that's interesting about Empire Strikes Back, the reason why they scaled down the ship so much was because the way that they would film would be by having a camera that's on a dolly that would then shoot backward, and then that would make it look as if something's flying away or coming up close to it. And the problem with that is that you need real world space in order to do that, and when they had the 6-foot model, it was just not enough space. So they shrunk it down in the Empire Strikes Back so that when they zoomed away, they had more room to make that look realistic. And so this shows some of those cameras and also how they were computer controlled. We even have some comments about special effects combined with stunts. And then we're getting into actual information about R2-D2 and how astromech works, how R2 would be able to control the X-Wing, and then ways that circuit boards are created and types of circuit boards. I think that these kits would be great. I mean, particularly this one would be great for STEM learning projects because you go through, you learn about literally specific things that you're going to be using, and then you get to handle them in real life and actually do something with them. So that's kind of neat. Anyway, so today we're going to be building R2-D2's right leg and his head features. So it looks like the first kit that I'm going to need is this one right here. I also need the parts that I had from last time. So I need to pull this back out. You remember that I decided to go ahead and screw this on just so I didn't lose it. I'm going to have to unscrew that now because we're going to need that off in order to do some things with it. Just like so. And then still need to hold onto those screws too. I haven't had a problem with keeping track of screws for the Iron Man. It seems like they give you only as much as you need for each section. But this build, I think I need to hold on to every little screw. So I need this right here. We'll put it just like they have theirs, just like that. And then I also need the other part that we made right here. And so we're going to take the leg assembly that I assembled last time on stage 2 together with the outer casing provided with this issue, which is right here. So I need to open up my box. Let's keep everything where it goes. And so I'm going to need this piece right here. First off, it looks like they went ahead and fitted this together, so I thought we were just loosely doing that last time. But I'm going to go ahead and push it through based on that. And okay, just like that. So now it's actually officially kind of connected. Then I'm going to be taking this part right here, sticking it in also as much as we can. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to bring this, and it's still not telling me to screw it on yet. What? Oh. Wait a minute. No, no, no. Take that back. Pushing those in. I think I was supposed to screw it in after all. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and screw that in. Okay. It's making more sense too as to why we only glued some pieces. I think that was just to hold it in place, because now we've got some plastic that's kind of giving it some support. Okay. So you can see how that fits together there. And then, and this piece, like I said, goes right here. Just don't have a way to screw it on yet. Okay. And that's that part. So we're done with that. I'm going to put this over here. Now, I'm going to be taking this part right here from our last set, and I'm going to be getting this lens out that they've provided me with this time. The picture shows the lens as if it's way darker than this, but we're just going to align it with this and put it right on in, just like that. And then I'm going to take this little piece right here and I'm going to stick it just like that. Is that all the more that there is to that part? I'm going to put that over here. I might even take the lens out of it. If we're not securing the lens yet, I might just put that back in where it's safe for the moment. And then I've also got a little PV here. It has two switches on it, looks like. And they are just temporary switches. I'm going to get my LED. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be plugging that in to this right here. So wanting to line that up, got the pins at the top, and we just slide it in just like that. Okay, and that's it for this stage. This does say that this is a photoreceptor lens, so I think this is where we're going to be putting the actual, there's a camera that goes in this, so I'm guessing where that's where it's going to go, through his actual eye, essentially. That was the end of that one. We'll bring over issue 4 now. Issue 4, we have filming R2-D2. Here we have Ben Kenobi, who has his own series about to start. We've got more about the individual characters, talks about Mark Hamill, performance capture that they used, more special effects. This part was cool. For those that don't know, they actually built the whole bottom portion of that. These days, they would never go to that effort, but so the whole thing was actually there on set, literally a giant set. And then I think the rest of it was probably some type of matte painting. And C-3PO talking more about what a protocol droid is, which is very different than the Astromech. CMOS, we get to learn a little bit about image sensors and get to see the way that some of these things are put together, how they pick up different types of reds and greens and blues. Learning a little bit more about photoreceptors and robot technology. One of the cool things about this build is that we're actually going to be testing some things right now, actually, I think. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, we also get to build some more first. So I'm going to be bringing back my leg. Then I need my parts that come from, yeah, this is it. Number 4. This is where we are. So I do like that these at least have staples at the top. I don't have to cut into them with my teeth to open it. So, what's this? We also got some additional instructions in here. I think they're related to this battery module. So, United States model, not suitable for children. Nope, it's just to tell you not to eat it. So, all right. So the first thing that I'm needing, is this. So this is some kind of hinge point. So first thing, I'm going to be taking, there's some notches in here. These two biggest notches, actually. Oh no, it has to fit this direction. Goes in here like this, and then you turn it until it runs into these. Nope, there it goes. Yep, there it goes. Haha. All right, done. Next piece. This piece right here comes in at the bottom here, and it's supposed to slot through these two holes right here. Again, I think this is a test fit thing that they're not going to have me actually screw. So, I don't love having to hold on to parts, but alright, so that's what that much looks like. And then we get to do something fun. So, it doesn't come with batteries, I don't think. So I will need to grab some batteries, I believe. Let's double check that. See if I'm correct or not. And I do need some, it looks like some double A's here. Alright, 3 double A's. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I'll put that one there. This one goes right here. This one goes right here, like that. And then I'm gonna grab this one right here. Right? I'm gonna slot this now. 2 pins at the top. Slot this into here, just like this, until it clicks. And then, oh, look at that. So we got red, blue. So, yeah, looks like they work. All right. I will say, too, that the kit came with a diffusing. I think this is meant for this. So, later on, it should look more like that. There we go. Look at that. Yeah. So that's why it'll look much better than when it does without that. That closes out issue 4. Now we're going to get into issue 5 here, which in this case looks like we're going to start building the top of his head. It does show the actual R2 being built and also some BB-8 stuff. So here's another shot of that giant set that they showed us earlier. You get to see that there's more than one of these R2s. Something I want to say too is it's pretty amazing that we're building this at half scale, because the original had parts that in the 1970s, so these same things that we're trying to do and we're using right now, they didn't have access to. So it meant using a lot of fiber optics, so that meant you had a bunch of fiber optics running throughout so they could hook that up to regular size lights instead of small LEDs. There's a lot of componentry that would have been much bigger. Instead of a tiny board, we would have had something that would have been much larger than that with parts that just, that we're using right now were not existent back then. They were just not that small. Learning about other types of droids, rotary bearings. This is really cool in the way that it is telling a lot of information about how different types of mechanisms work, what ball joints are, how bearings work. If you've never changed out the bearings on your bike or cleaned them, you missed out. And now we're going to get into, speaking of bearings, we're going to be using that technology for our frame components, which we're going to be putting together, which are going to construct the head. And so there's going to be a lot of pieces that are going to go into this over time. So this is number 5. So I'm going to use my bag number 5, which is right here. Oh, I got a lot of little screws to hold on to. I have to start labeling things. Reminds me, I need to buy a label maker. Alright, little tiny screws. I wish they marked the bags of these screws like they did in the Iron Man one, but that's okay. Look at all the different types that we have. Hopefully we're using them all. I don't have to really hold on to much extra. I mean, look at them all. And then there's our first piece that we're going to be putting together that everything else is going to come off of. And here's the very top of our head that we're going to be building around. So, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to need this piece right here. And look at that. It's got those little bearings inside. Okay. And now I'm going to be taking this little piece right here, just like inside your bicycle, putting it right there. And you'll feel that this centerpiece will spin, and that's because there's little tiny bearings on the outside of it that it's running against. And then I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to be hooking it over this using up all the screws that I just took out. I got to figure out which one it is. I think it's these, but well, it fits, so that must be the right kind, I guess. Alright, you know, this little part still spins on the inside. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over like so, and I'm going to be bringing in this piece right here. So I'm lining it up so that it goes on right here. So this middle hole, this arrow, these arrows touch. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, this is going to be tricky. So I'm going to take these little tiny itty bitty, hopefully not to be lost, bolts here, and I'm going to put them on this side like so. One there, one here, just like that. And then I'm going to hook this back into here, and then I'm going to hold my fingers on that so they don't slide away. And then I think I'm taking those same screws. Let's find out. Oh yeah, that's it, right there. And then another one right here. All right. And then that's that. Okay. And that's the end of that magazine. Which brings us to the final one of this set. It's gonna be a little nervous though, because I've got some parts that are still left over. This is issue 6. Oh, look at that. I think I'm gonna like this one. We get the Diagnostic display, which is pretty exciting. Going inside, we get to see the different sets. It would have been so cool back then to be able to see all this stuff. I mean, this is all in real scale as the way that they filmed. So they didn't use a lot of special effects as you would think that they would. I mean, they did use some matte paintings, but for the most part, they had the whole thing right there. And so, at any rate, get to learn a little bit more about other types of droids. In this case, power droids, which are kind of the funny droids that we get to see wandering around. And we've already had one issue that kind of covered LCDs. This is another one that's going to be covering LCDs, but in this case, how we use color ones for being able to make different effects, and how they made this effect on the real R2, as well as how we're going to be doing it in this case. Really gets into a lot of detail about LCD technology, and then we get into our actual parts. So it's not hard to figure out what we're working with this time because there's only one bag left. There's our LCD screen. I am pretty excited about this, especially if we get it tested and see it work. So it looks like all these things are all tied into this one part. So First of all, we're going to be taking this piece right here, which we'll also need our little tester unit here. Take my light out of it. I am going to be taking this part right here and this piece right here, and we're just going to be fixing it into here like that, so you can't accidentally do something wrong. Then we click in, that's it. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's part number one. Now we take that part, and we're going to be fitting it onto the face of this part right here. So I've got my long nodule, I've got this like this, and I place them over each other. Ooh. And then I'm going to be tying that in with some of these black fixing screws. Then you just take this cable, you're going to plug it into here. We use a small side, goes into here, and then the large side goes into here, and then it does that. Look at that. Look at the details on that. That is so great. We're going to have more than one of these on his head, so that's going to be pretty neat. That's the end of that magazine. So now I've already got more boxes, two that I plan to open next time. One of them's really large and has some surprises in it that I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to get. So pretty exciting. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, comment below. Stay tuned for some of our other videos as well. In the meantime, this is your Geek Fix.